Welcome back, this is MDawg. And we're jumping right into the fish here. So you may recognize this spot. This is actually, I think, one of the first places we fished in this series. And I always think of this spot as a, really good crucian gibble spot. Which it may be at times, but right now it is performing really well as a common roach spot. So we are here at Mosquito. Yeah, that's all we're getting is common roach. Might want to have a little bit larger hooks once we get better feeders, but as you can see, we've just caught roach after roach here in the last couple minutes. We still have the rough from the last episode, not getting the cafe orders we were hoping for. So if they're not there by the end of this episode, then we'll just sell them. They're not hard to catch again. Yeah, we're doing really well in harvesting baits. Oh, you love to see the sleeper though. The occasional sleeper on pearl barley. I would have not have predicted that one at all. So, only 2 of the roach have been markers. I think our plan for this episode, first of all, I am in sort of the working time. So this could end up being a quick episode, or it could be a relaxed, regular episode. We'll see. But I think the plan may be to get a winding here. And then we'll see how we're doing if we want to come back and maybe test the bream spot again once it's evening time. But I just wanted to check this spot over here. I do think the roach are here. Oh, by the way, this is what we're using. We're using pearl barley with 14 on the first rod, 14 with maggots on the second rod, and then just worms on the third. All 3, and bread was doing the same. All 3 producing pretty consistent roach in this spot at the moment. There might be a fish on that first one already. With these nibblers of fish, you hate to pick it up too soon. Oh, this should be a marker if it is a roach. Yeah, this would be a nice one. Oh, yeah. So as you can see, common roach, a little less XP for the fish, right? More along the lines of crucian gibbles. But if you get a really active roach spot, I think at low levels, they are sneaky good in terms of like adding up to good silver. Because sometimes a spot, once you get dialed in on the right hook size and everything, which I would say, from what I'm seeing, if we had it, we'd probably want to use about size 10 here. Slow the bite rate down a little bit, but increase the size if possible. We also are doing a little weirdness here. I haven't switched these 2 rods to paternoster yet. So we've got paternoster on the first rod. The second 2 rigs are set up with basic bottom still. We don't have points in anything, so I don't know that it makes a huge difference. When we're using ground bait, my preference would probably be to just go with paternoster on all of them. We'll see these last couple fish and check the cafe one last time and then maybe head to winding. And if there's something good cafe-wise at winding, we might just let that be our guide for what we're going to fish for during the day. This might be a marker. Yeah. I like it. Small fry. I think those common roach models look so good. Can't believe we're at 24.2% already. We haven't made enough pearl barley yet. We haven't made as much oatmeal as we probably want to make, and we're almost up to the next level. Okay, so order-wise is really... Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's only 16 silver, though. We're not going to wait around for that. We're really not. I just think it's just kind of like one of those moments where it's like cafe, just not that impressive. Let's hold on to the rough a little longer, though. So 7 quick silver there. Nothing too exciting. But there's definitely roach there. So if you want to hit the roach cafe orders, that looks like a good option, especially once you've opened up pearl barley. But really on just about anything, roach were pretty active there. Now let's see what we can do here at Winding. And like I said, let's start off with looking at the cafe. Let's see. Could try to hit some big roach in the pond. If it's 30 silver, that's okay. You know, we might double up on these 3 out of the pond. Nothing's like super standing out for me though. Why don't we just go back to 99, 108. Try a couple different things with our hooks, and then also see if there's any active bleak or gudgeon there on float. So it's not the first little dock thing, it's the second one. What's like best case scenario that we're gonna catch here? On like red worms or the larva bark beetle. So blue bream would be nice. Could use our fake bream mix and try that out and see if we get a lucky blue bream on red worm. That would be small hook though. Pretty small hook. During the day, what are we realistically going to get? Maybe nace on either red worm or bark beetle larva. Go a little larger hook, try to hit a nice one. Same with white bream. Yeah, I don't know. It just looks to me like red worm, and I think 14 might be the way to go. So we're going to do the first fake bream mix we made, which is the semolina base, especially with not knowing exactly what we're targeting here. Do we want to stay at 14 or do we want to go up to 6? I think 14 is good. 10 clip. Let's just see what we can do here. And same stuff, 14, but this one we want to do bark beetle larva. I'm just going to be curious what we catch here like this. And oddly enough, we are going to go back to float here for a minute. We want to go 22 hook, let's try with pearl barley. And let's plan on avoiding the chub. How does that sound? Does that work for everybody? We want to avoid the chub. Ideally here, we're just hoping to see if are there bleak or gudgeon or something like that active right now that will go for the red worm, for the pearl barley. I guess bleak are more likely, right? Than gudgeon on pearl barley. Now that I think about it, we'll see though. That was a quick bite. We just didn't land it. We need to dig as well. All right, let's recast it and dig real quick. Let's get it out there a little bit. Dig and hope that we don't miss a bite. may have a fish on one or both feeders. So we are getting that drifting with the current, but we're not seeing a lot of nibbles right now. Alright, first fish is a what? That is what we do not want to get. And it may be hard to avoid it. Like, it might be, like, rare that we don't catch a small bream on redworm here, or on either of these baits, actually, but we're hoping to get lucky and not just get tiny bream during the day here. Alright, let's try this again. If we don't see something this time, we'll start changing our strategy up on float. Maybe we'll put it down, change the depth a little bit. I don't know. Or change the bait. Well, do we go to this spot and see if this float spot is active? I don't know. I mean, we could just go to 3 feeders here, obviously, but I was really hoping we could get into something. So let's just try 80. Let's actually go down a little bit. I don't think bleak are going to be super active at that depth, though. We did put bark beetle larvae and not, yeah. Just making sure I didn't actually put maggots on there. Really interesting. I don't like what I'm seeing on float right now. I do like what I'm seeing on shovel though. Maggots? 1.2 meters. And if nothing, maybe we try surface one more time, but with maggots this time. If bleak were active here, I think they would have gone for the pearl barley. There's probably fish on both feeders, by the way. Just watch for a bite there on the float. Yeah, I think we just want to switch spots. This might be better at night, but right now all we're doing is, the most positive thing we're doing is leveling up our bottom fishing, but we're not making any silver, which is not the path to victory. Okay, I'm convinced. So, I think there's 2 options. One is that camp spot, but I'm worried that where we fished in the last, maybe 2 episodes ago now, but I'm worried that during the day it might be about as bad as this spot was. I might be wrong, but the other option is, again, a spot that we tried. Of course, we could always be doing pond. Pond would be the easy answer, and just embrace the roach, crucian gibbles, and stuff like that, and also go for bleak maybe, but I think the more intriguing thing to me right now is, let's just do a check over here. we'll start off with the same setups we have now, but we might change it to much smaller hooks, which we could have done that at the other spot. It's possible that like some of the smaller species just weren't biting because of the hook size we're using. Okay, so I don't really know. Let's start it back up here and then float it down a little bit. We don't know. I don't know if we have to cast it that far out, actually. Again, if bleak are active here, I think we'll have some success on pearl barley. We could go down to 24 hook, but 22 should work as well. If I remember correctly, we might have actually had, man, that's twice we've gotten these bites, and we might have had more success down here on the bleak float last time. Let's see if we get something here. We don't want it to go down that far, do we? Okay. At least we got a little activity there. Again, not the fish we're after. Last one. That moment when you think, maybe I should have stayed at Mosquito. Okay. One last thing before it's bream time. I guess the question is, like, at this point, do we just want to try bream at winding at 99,108? I mean, we can't catch anything but bream there. Is it actually going to be good at night? Maybe. We could go pearl barley, red worm, bark beetle at nighttime. That's kind of compelling, I think. Could be. I don't know, 10 clip might actually be a little too strong here. We might want more like 8 clip. It seems like they're pretty close here to the shore. I haven't done this in a while, but are the bleak still active over here? If you look at the map, 2-meter hole, didn't we try this like in the first episode? Sometimes they are very nice there. Looks like we're already getting nibbles. And if they're there, they should go crazy for that pearl barley. Okay, I think we've got something playing with it, don't we? Is that a bleak? No, it is not. That's our first crucian on float. How did we make it as long as we did without catching a crucian on float? It's quite confusing. I guess if there's no roach here, that pearl barley might be slow. Or if the roach aren't really active, we might want to go to 2 baits that will catch crucian gibbles there. Come on, be a bleak. Interesting. And if we switch it to maggot? We'll see what we're getting on pearl barley here. Well, bread's doing well. Bread is doing really well. Probably is a roach. Or it could be a gibble or something, but I mean, it's just nibbling forever. Dang it. Finally. See if it was worth the wait. Yeah, it is a roach. It's a decent roach. I guess that's fine. That does not look like a bleak bite. Looks like a little chub or something, doesn't it? Oh, a nace. I like it. Okay. That's a nice fish. I mean, that's going to be for us, a pretty big silverfish there. Oh, you really? You're not going to count that for us? Okay. If you say so. Nice roach. Very nice roach. I lost it for a second. I mean, based on the fish we're catching here, we should probably have it a little deeper and move it down a little bit. Probably doesn't have to be down there. We're not catching bleak anyway today for some reason. Oh, I can't believe that didn't snap us off. It's still May. We just have to pick the right time to back up. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. How did that happen? Wait, did I just release it? Okay, that's also crazy. I thought I hit keep. Apparently I hit release. I got pretty excited. At least it wasn't a trophy sterlet or something. You know what I mean? Nice fish. I have this feeling somehow we're not going to hit a single cafe order. I'm not sure how we'll manage that, but I think we will. But that nace is going to be like, I don't know, 7, 8 silver maybe? Just that one fish? Or am I wrong? Another nice roach. I guess if we're really going to go get set up for bream here or there, we probably ought to do it. I guess we'll try it here. I mean, it's already kind of felt like a weird episode, right? We're catching some weird stuff. Some spots seem like they're not doing what I thought they'd do. So let's just stay here and see what the night brings us at that 99 spot. All right, let's go ahead and at least take the hook off so we don't get confused on how many 24s we have. And we'll stop by the cafe, but then we're going to head over to the bream spot here. Thank goodness there's not an order for that hide. That'd be really tough. Oh, we're one gibble short. And we're one Chinese sleeper short. I knew we'd find a way. I knew we'd find a way. 7.6 silver on that nace. Alright, so on rod 1, I mean, we're going to go for it, right? Size 6. pearl barley, fake bream. 10. Yeah, we're going for it. Question is, what size hook are we going to use on the other baits? I think if we're smart, we'll do 14, because we might occasionally want to catch a bream on those just to make it interesting, but we mostly want to see, are any of the other species going to be active. Oh, is this it? Yeah. Okay. All right, fake bream. Man, oh man. All right, 14. Oh, good. We have another 16. Okay, good. And then 16. All at 10-meter clip. All right. Let's see what we can do here. First fish is... All right. Now let's hope there's some big bream hiding here too. How often do you find a spot that's fairly active with bream during the day, but then it goes quiet at night? I think that would be pretty unusual. The bream are here, the bream are here, right? They should at least get up to like small marker size. Alright, so this one's on red worm. Also a bream bait. $28.2. Pearl barley might be where it's at. Still not quite nighttime, but you might start seeing a marker come in a little early. Maybe. Well, two of the three baits are working, at least catching fish. Well, let's hold our judgment on the spot or the baits until after it's nighttime. Right now it's too early to tell what this spot's going to do. Look at that. Fatty. Holy cow. Is that our first marker bream here? It's one of those small markers. Yep. Yeah, I was hoping that was going to be a white bream. So small. What in the world? River mussel farm on bark beetle larva? Okay, this cannot be a bream. It's way too small. Wait, are they gonna stay small all night? Remember, this is even on 6 hooks. I mean, if there's something that was gonna pull in a decent size one, you would think it'd be rod 1. But rod 2 and 3 should occasionally as well if it's an okay spot, even on 14, 16 hooks. By the way, at this point, we might just move rod 2 and 3 to like 20, 22 hooks and just see if we can catch one of the smaller species of fish. If this is another regular bream, then we're switching the hook size. Yeah. Yeah. So good bite rate, but 22 or 24. Let's go 22. We'll go 24 on the bark beetle, I guess. Let's see if we can get a different species. Get a blue or something. Ooh. A little bit better size, maybe. Barely a marker? Yeah. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance? Is that what you're saying? Wow. I forgot how quickly you can level at this early stage for harvesting baits. So still occasionally getting points on pearl barley, but we can see it's just about at its end. We've got 557 pieces or whatever, so that's enough for a while. 26%. And we haven't even started the baits that are available between 25 and 30. So I might want to make maybe like 3-4 more batches of oatmeal, then we switch over to, what is it, sweet dough and wheat grains. Wheat grains are sometimes good. Sweet dough is good sometimes too. All right, is that a non-bream? Nope. Yeah, we're just not finding them here. We're just not finding them. Let's check with smaller hook on bark beetle larva before we give up. before we just give up. Too many bream, and they're not the necessarily size, you know, even at night they're coming out too small. At least on the baits we're using. That might be a bait issue, you know. There's some baits that we just don't have access to right now, but... So, what do we need for sweet dough? It's like 3, right? Yeah, wheat flour, milk, sugar. So it's a little expensive at that point, but we gotta make it a bunch of it. Wheat grain is pricey. We probably only want to make, you know, 100 or so of those. Not a ton. There was like last week, people were catching some really nice eyed at Mosquito on wheat grain, but honestly, until you get to Volkov, and even at Volkov, wheat grain just isn't that common of a bait to be used. For what it's worth, I actually think redworm might be more consistently catching the bream we want than pearl barley here. But I was thinking on redworm and bark beetle larva, to be honest. I just was really thinking there'd be a lot more off catch. I knew we were in danger of catching a lot of these small bream, but I thought it would be mixed in with other stuff. But the other stuff just hasn't come, even with the smaller hooks, at least not so far. So, I think that, I don't know, maybe that fish is just going to go away, but that was a weird bite. It's been a weird episode of fishing. We've still done a little bit of good, though. We've learned some stuff. We've caught some fish that are worth a little bit of silver. We're progressing, but not, it's not been a fantastic session for sure. And the icing on the cake will be if there's still no rough orders at Mosquito. Now on spin fishing, I don't think you can use leaders right from the start, right? Oh, maybe you can. I think they've changed it. Yeah, I think you can now. Okay. So is it just, yeah, float fishing is the only one that you have to unlock leaders now, maybe? That's probably a good change. Yeah, the fish just hadn't been that good, and now that we're in the actual, like, late overnight hours, it's slowed down to a crawl, it seems like. Well, this is not the bream spot, but now we know. Now we know that it's just, even though the bream are here and active during the day, at night they're just too small. And this is what I thought we would see more of here, to be honest. I don't even know if I want to use fake bream ground bait here. Maybe we just want to go straight. We've got that one set up on basic bottom anyway still. I'm going to go check cafe. make sure we don't have anything to sell to the cafe. Then we'll come back and get our last fish or two, and then we're gonna head out. We actually have time where we could go catch a couple of bream at the Mosquito spot, I guess. I don't know. Might not be worth all that. Wait till we have a full session to try to catch bream there. I mean, even at these, even when we have these slower sessions, like we're getting there where we're going to be able to get a second feeder soon. Oh yeah, we could have just embraced the rough, right? Probably is what we should have done. Okay, so 23 silver. A lot of effort for only 23 silver, but we're at 138. We're not that far from another feeder upgrade, right? I guess the other question is, do we get... Not that it's any cheaper here than Mosquito, right? I think it's the same on groceries. So we don't do anything yet. I hear the bells. It's good. It's good. We want to hear bells ringing. Trophy bream on line 1. Right? It's not line 1. That's not a trophy bream. That is line 1. But again, not the droids we're after. Who knows how long this fish has been on? It's just sitting there, not telling us that it's there. Okay. Oh man. You got to take the good sessions with the bad though, right? Until we want to play around with spin fishing, Mosquito may just be the safer play still. At least we kind of know what we're getting into here. And even though we didn't have the cafe orders we wanted to see, let's go 20 meters. Do we think that 20 meters from here goes to the hole? We're like right at the end of this path. No, I really don't. I think you got to full cast it to have a chance. It's almost like 30, and I don't know that we're going to hit 30, by the way. But if we get close to it, yeah, I don't think we're in the hole, but I could be wrong. It's close, maybe. It's close. All right. Yeah, let's keep that. 22 is fine. Let's just do no clip and cast it pretty far. But on this one, we want to go worm. And we're just going to do this for a couple minutes before we wrap up this episode. See if we can't just test another spot. We know that there's rough here. We might be able to get a rough, but the question is, will the pearl barley do anything here? It's not that different. I mean, when we're fishing in our normal spot, we're casting sort of in this direction, but not getting into the hole. Now we're casting in this direction, barely or not quite getting into the hole. So are the breams still over here? I don't know. We can find out though. One of the lines is totally slack and it's not tight. I think it's the second line. We're just going to leave it alone though. That's a big fish to be on a 24 hook with worms at 3:30 in the morning. I guess it's a bream? I don't even know. Just a really small bream, maybe? Trophy rough? Could I get a trophy rough? It's too big to be a trophy rough, I think. We'll see how many grams it is. Not a rough. 704 gram rough. Yeah, that'd be a heck of a rough. Absolute records. Rough. 249 grams. Okay. I don't think we're going to hit an absolute rough on this leveling series, but you never know. Okay, red worm, first fish, 22 hook. You'd like to think rough, but again, it's a little chunky for a rough. We'll see. It's just a really nice rough. Really nice rough. As far as the regular bream go, pearl barley so far has not gotten one. We got the large non-marker size on worm, but the worm is also out there further because we've got that just straight sinker. It cast a little further than our feeder did, I think. Might be interesting to go try some other spots like up in here, F4. I've often wondered about over here at I5. I think we've tried it in the past, but casting towards the 5 meter part of the hole, I don't think we have the strength at this point to get to the 8 meter, but you know, in sort of this area here, might there be some active spots. I just don't know. I mean, I think this, you know, at this point Mosquito does get tested some, but this place certainly does not get tested as much as old Mosquito did, or some of the obviously the higher level areas, lakes and rivers. So you never know what you could run into here. All is quiet. All right, so what do we have here? 13 more silver. That puts us at just enough to upgrade a second feeder if we want to really try to hit the bream over on the other side next time. A little 67 spot. See if we hit it with 2 rods, if it feels worthwhile. All right, this is painful. There's a little rough. I do think that's getting a nibble right now. At first I think it was just stuck on the bottom, but now I think a fish is playing with it. Yep. Another small rough. So that was stuck on the bottom a little bit too. But this has a little bit more power to it. It wasn't hard to get that unstuck. So we say goodbye to the rough now. 13 silver, we're at 151. Do we ever jump in and just go ahead and get the feeder? I guess so. We've got enough baits and stuff that it's not a big concern to go down to that little silver. We've got like backup rods and reels. I think we can do it. I don't normally like to like actually go down to nothing silver wise, but this early on, you know, if you can get another, I couldn't remember what hook this came with. I was in my mind, I was hoping it was a happy hook, but it is another cheap, crappy hook. Maybe the Pro comes with a nicer one. Yeah, Pro comes with a happy hook and a good size. That 8's a nice size, and it comes with the river feeder, which is nice. Okay, we have 2.9 silver, but we now have another upgraded setup, and I'm guessing this is probably what we might want to do next time, if it's nighttime. Use these 2 rods to see if we can hit those bream, and then we can just fish for rough on the 3rd one. Fish for rough on the 3rd one, right? All right, that'll do it. Thank y'all. See you next time. Tight lines.